to spill the secrets.
This is Universal Secrets with Tiffany Mack and Kevin Hale.
It is Tuesday night. You know what that means.
Well, it used to be, hey, it's Tiffany Tuesday, but that really makes it sound like it's only me here.
Ego.
Yeah, totally ego-driven.
So it is Tuesday night. You know what that means.
It's Universal Secrets with Tiffany Mack and Kevin Hale, my partner in crime.
May 14th, 2024. T-Mac, how are you?
I'm doing good today. Yeah, how are you doing? You feeling better this week?
I'm okay. I do have a beef, with you. You send these amazing, I guess, AI pictures, the pics that you send. I'm always kind of phased out in those images. I mean, it's you. There's a blonde.
Yeah.
Glasses.
Yeah.
UFO. Alien.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where am I really in those images?
I haven't gotten that good at it.
In the UFO?
Maybe. Yeah. You're flying it.
I'm the dude taking the picture. I'm not.
No, you're the dude who is flying all of those guys down to abduct people. You're in the producer seat. So I'll work on that.
There's a little bit of that voyeurism thing that, kind of fits me. But yeah, all right, I digress. We are streaming live on our YouTube, Facebook channels. Got it going on in the chat. We thank our loyal followers every Tuesday night hanging out with us for hashtag Tiffany Tuesday. What is the hashtag?
Red lips.
50 Shades of K, which I do own that one. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Tiffany, as we have started this reboot, our fourth season, fourth try at this 2-year hiatus, we came back and we've just, we've branched out more than the alien, ghost, Bigfoot, cryptid thing. We've talked, religion. We had last week, what was it? Sarah Lauren with the sex trafficking, that whole. Her telling her story, which was effing heavy, and give her props. Just what she went through, going through, kind of still emotionally, and just to be able to tell the story. And so that show I was very proud of, because it was, it really wasn't. There was no paranormal angle at all.
There was towards the end, but we lucked out on that part.
Well, okay.
Don't you agree?
We did. Yeah, we did. And she kind of came around. I mean, at the end, yeah, she was feeling the ET thing, and you kind of sharing your stories to kind of put the whole going through an experience as you have, and you kind of
her experiences were so real for today. I know that
scary, real,
very scary. And my mom actually bought a book from Nancy Grace, and it's on Don't Be a Victim. And I'm going to get it. She's reading it right now, and I couldn't find it on Amazon, so I guess I'd have to go to Barnes and Noble, but I might just wait. But it does explain, she was a huge prosecutor, right? And she will terrify you to no end with stories of the trauma that people place upon other people, and just reading just a little bit of that took me back, and you got to realize that we are all humans, and we do have to learn how to communicate with others, and I'm not good at that. Maybe that's why I asked the questions. But, it was very heavy and, a very important topic for today. If you have children, it's just a terrifying world. So having girls, that show really did hit home, and,
Same.
it caused a lot of, stress. I ended up having 3 nights of complete nightmares. They were awful, absolutely horrific. And I texted her and I was like, "Hey, I mentioned that I was going to send you a buddy in the middle of the night. You didn't have to do that to me. I was sending you a nice, peaceful being. You just sent me like running from rapists and murderers all night for the next 3 days. So not
Yeah.
fun." But you could tell that, at the end of the evening, we ended at 10 o'clock. I didn't have time to decompress after that show. So
Yeah.
hopefully tonight it won't be as terrifying. We're going to do
I don't
conversation
know.
to some.
Pre-show, these ladies sounded pretty scary to me.
Yeah. Well, they've had some good
Badass scary.
experiences. Yeah.
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 Well, give us the build up. How did this show come about tonight?
So, I really enjoy all of my sparkly rocks and crystals and stuff like that. So, I am sort of witchy, and I have a connection for
You're
some
my
reason.
bewitched.
Yes. So I have this obsession. I'll say it's an obsession, but and I do have to touch them before I take them. So it's a very tactile experience for me, and if I feel connected to it, then I want to buy it. And so I was in this my mom lives in this neighborhood, and this new store popped up, and she's like, "You have to go check it out. It's like the metaphysical shop in the neighborhood." And so at first I was like, it's not going to be that great. And I walked in and I had this waft of Palo Santo, which is a nice a wood that has a great soft smell, and you use it for incense and things like that. So they had that going, and that was immediately set me into a peaceful mood. And then you walk in and they are all these shiny rocks and tarot cards and little statues and things, everything that I could possibly want. And so therefore I actually connected in that moment. But my girlfriend Kristen went in one day and we were just going to go buy some rocks. Well, we didn't end up buying rocks. We ended up buying or getting a meditation, or not a meditation, a tarot reading. Thank you. I can't think today. And everything that came up was completely spot on. So,
Hmm.
I don't know. We had gone to lunch earlier in the day, and we were talking about some things that had happened in our lives, and one of them was that I had just had these baby mantis who hatched out, and it was like 2 months, 3 months early, and usually they come out in June. So I was very shocked at that. And not only that, but we had a pet regal jumping spider who laid a nest, and all of her babies hatched out at the same time. So I was overrun with baby mantis and baby, spiderlings.
Things with multiple legs.
Yeah, lots of them.
Ugh.
Yeah, and they used to give me the creepy crawlies, but obviously now I'm a changed woman. So but anyway, so we were talking about that, and Kristen, she hates spiders. She's like, "Ah." But as soon as we got into this session, the first card that was pulled was from an animal deck, and it was of a spider. And we just sat there. Our eyes just got huge, and I was like, because you sort of wonder if people are going to be honest and truthful and real, or if it's just sort of an act. So the things that the cards pulled up, I mean, I read the cards for her, and it was 100% accurate. And the other girl who was actually reading the cards was just like, yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. Because it was just such a very strong connection, whether it was through consciousness or through maybe a spirit being there with us. So that is what really triggered this whole conversation that we're going to have this evening. I reached
So
out to
you go
the
into
owner.
their shop
Mhm.
with this pre-mindset that it's going to be a 1-star Yelp review, and you walk out giving it 4 stars, right?
Correct. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right.
I mean, I've been in there once a week since since the first time. I may just go in and just look at something or just peek my head in and smell, you know, see what they're burning, whether it's Palo Santo or sage or frankincense, myrrh, whatever.
Well, let's
But
see
anyways,
what they're burning right now. How about that? There we go.
hello, ladies.
Hello, hello. I'm gonna look for your review because I don't think I saw it.
I didn't write one yet.
Yeah, we're gonna hold her to it.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I'll do it. I will. I promise.
So
we
who
have
we got? Who we got?
we've got Monica de la Torre, and she is the owner of the Bodhi tree, and she sent me a really awesome article. And so that sort of gave me an idea of who Monica is. So there we go. The Wow Quarterly. Yes.
Wow.
So Monica has had a few different types of interesting experiences throughout her life that have led her to ownership of this wonderful metaphysical shop. And, you know, she'll describe them as we go down this road. But I was very excited that she would even send me a message back. It was very quick. And I, you know how you sort of sit there and you're like, I wonder when they're going to text back. And you're like seeing the 3 dots. You're like, dot, dot, dot. I'm like, oh, yes. So that's exactly how I felt when she responded and said that she would love to come on. Not only that, Monica brought Angelia, one of her great friends. Or is it Angelia? I'm sorry.
Angelia.
Yes.
I knew I'd get it wrong. And so Angelia is also a Reiki master. And so we're going to talk a little bit about what goes into meditation, readings, tarot, and how to connect with spirit guides. So thank you, ladies, for coming in this evening. Monica, would you like to give a short introduction to what drew you to the metaphysical world to begin with?
Oh gosh, I think my very first like angel experience was when I was 5. So I mean, it was I always saw them. I always saw energy around people. But you know, what's so interesting is I never really understood what I was seeing until that movie came out. Oh gosh, that terrible, scary movie. Not The Haunting, but like where the priest comes in and like he sees like this like shadow around the like the family and the people.
Oh,
I can't
is
remember
it
the
The
name.
Conjuring?
Yes, The Conjuring.
Yeah.
So when I watched The Conjuring,
Karen family.
yes.
Yes.
So I'm watching The Conjuring and I'm seeing her walk in and like see like this kind of cloud. And I was like, oh shit, I used to see that all the time as a young child. So I mean, it was really like always a part of me. Always, truly. But my first major angel experience was when I was 5. Actually, it's a really intense story. Do you want me to tell you?
Absolutely.
I mean, we're going right in. We're jumping right in.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
So I'm born and raised in Los Angeles. And I have this, I was left to, you know, my grandma and an uncle were babysitting me. My mom was working. And my uncle exposed himself to me in a bathroom. And I was 5. And I just remember he was like on the opposite side of the bathroom and he was telling me like, just take off your skirt, just take off your skirt. And I was like, no. And like, I knew I had this awareness and this consciousness at 5 that I was like, this is not going to happen to me. It's just not. Like, I remember saying, this is not going to happen to me. This is not part of my story. So angels, come and get me. And I remember looking at this bathroom door that was this beautiful historic Spanish home that had multiple locks, like old locks and locks that like didn't work anymore. But like there were these all like multiple locks and they were all locked. And I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to get out of here? And I look over and so I said it again, I'm like, angels, get me out of here. And I watched every single lock open and the door flew open and I was carried out this bathroom and then down this like massive Spanish style like stairwell, screaming, and my grandma showed up at the bottom of the stairs, and she's like, "What happened?" And I don't know what my uncle saw, but he was like terrified. And he like never even looked at me again, I don't think, for the rest of my life. Like he didn't even like look in my direction. But that was my first experience with angels, and having an understanding that if you need them, you need to call for them. So like right out of the gate, it was always just a part of my life. Always. Like, I mean, it really, really was a theme throughout my life.
Did you have any familial experiences? What, like, was your grandmother or mother, they ever have any experiences in that house?
Or any
I mean, the
type of
house,
lineage
Or yeah, or yeah.
I mean, my grandmothers, they're, you know, they're Spanish, and they're like totally into all this stuff. I mean, totally into all this stuff. As far as the house goes, it was always like just understood that it was haunted, like the house was haunted. But I mean, I felt like that was more of like angelic, you know what I mean? Like that was because I called for them. But yeah, it was super creepy. I just saw the house on Zillow too. Like I randomly looked it up on Zillow, and it's like I saw the bathroom and I
The
saw
LA
everything.
home. Okay.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah. And it was wild to see that.
That's probably
Yeah.
like the Conjuring house. Everybody wants to move the hell out.
I mean, it's a gorgeous house in Hollywood and Highland, like old Hollywood Spanish home. But yeah, there was always this one room in the house that we never went into, like just never. It was like a little library room off the living room, and it was like we just didn't go in there. It was like just this heavy, heavy entity guarding the door. So yeah, I mean, honestly, it was just always the metaphysical, the unseen, the spiritual. It was always in my life, so for as long as I can remember.
before we get too far, let's pump the brakes and let Angelia come in and give a little quick background on her, and then we can really dive into our madness tonight.
So, Angelia, what do you when did you start having experiences, and what made you decide to do this path for your career and for yourself?
So looking back, I am a military brat, and I grew up military housing, very old houses, right? And I had an imaginary friend who I don't think was an imaginary friend. I think he was a little ghost friend. And I ended up telling my stepmom at the time, you know, I forget what his name was because I kind of blocked it out of my head. But I remember telling her, you know, oh, well, he told me to do this and he told me to do that. And she ended up telling me one day, she said, I'm going to lock you away. And she was very mean. She was really abusive. And so at that point, like she went and she told me everything that would happen if I was locked away. And so I think I just pushed that out of my head. And fast forward, you know, I've always had like paranormal experiences that have happened. Like I've known that there have been a presence around me. But I basically got into like my spiritual awakening after I had my son 7 years ago. And it was basically postpartum that really started that. And they put me on Zoloft after I had him, and I had no feeling whatsoever. And I just started down this holistic rabbit hole, and I started learning about chakras and energy healing and crystals and all of that beautiful stuff. And all of my senses seem to have come back since that experience that I had as a child. So that's kind of what sparked it, is I would say my son's birth.
Oh,
It's sort of funny because my experiences while I've been awake had started when I was pregnant with my oldest daughter. So I'm wondering if there's something that is triggered within us as women, and I wonder if there's something related to that. Is there a connection that we're given in order to help protect our families? Is there
Yeah.
something that's there, or is it just pure luck that some of us are triggered and some of us aren't?
I mean, we're portals. As women, we have a portal in between our legs, and
Yeah.
I truly believe that means something, and that we're able to access this wisdom, especially when we're pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
I've never
Mm-hmm.
heard it put that way, but that that makes a lot of sense. Really
I know
does.
your reaction, Kevin, was
Yeah, I
priceless.
mean, yeah, of course, a moment of me was like, okay, but no, I get it. I do. And you ladies will always have the power.
Yeah, my grandfather said that we have the key to the golden pot, whatever that means. So, let's get back to it. So, and you are actually the founder of Lotus and Bloom Reiki. Can you explain a little bit about Reiki to us?
So, a basic definition of Reiki is it is gentle, hands-on energy healing, and it just promotes relaxation. It helps with anxiety and depression, grief, and what happens during an attunement is our palm chakras are opened, and we are activated with the life force energy. So we all have the power to heal within ourselves, but when you are attuned to Reiki, we are channeling that life force energy. So that is flowing through our hands. And I always say, it's not me doing the healing, it's going to be your higher self and your healing team. So I'm just facilitating that healing, and you're doing all the work.
So, could it be for physical healing, mental
Yes.
healing, emotional healing, all of the above?
Yes, just think like mind, body, spirit. I've done things on people who have had knee replacements, and they'll say, after I do Reiki on them, that they feel like they just went to physical therapy.
Mm.
Like they're so confused, and they end up feeling better. And there's actually been a lot of studies that have been done. I don't know if you've ever heard of the late Raven Keyes,
Mm-mm.
but there is a book on medical Reiki, and she was actually allowed in the OR with Dr. Oz during an open heart procedure. And Dr. Oz doesn't know how the lady that he was performing the surgery on survived, other than Raven being in the room.
Wow.
So she
That's
talks
pretty
about it in
intense.
that book. Yeah, it's amazing.
So, I did do a Reiki session years ago. I for some reason, and I'm getting details for you, but for some reason I was not ovulating. And so I went to this therapist and did Reiki and craniosacral therapy. And immediately on the way home, I was ovulating. So I do believe that there's some kind of connection, and maybe we do need a guide to help us get our body back into alignment, whatever reason, whether it's trauma or emotional issues. Um, I think that it was very formative for that to happen. And for me to continue on after that was amazing. The feeling was amazing because I don't know if anybody else has ever had Reiki therapy, but what I felt was like I was moving like this. And I know I wasn't moving, but my body felt like I was being gently rocked.
Mm-hmm.
And it went from my head and then down my body, down through my hips, and it felt like somebody was just gently rocking, like you would have in a massage, like where they gently rock you to begin with. But she said she wasn't touching me at all. So is that part of it? You don't physically do a whole lot of touch, it's more energetic?
I do light hand touches. I will be on the head for a good 20-25 minutes. And so with me, I do a little more than just Reiki. I access the Akashic records, and I'm seeing a lot, especially when I'm at the head area. I'm seeing past traumas, like what needs to be healed. So that's why I like to put my hands on someone's head, because I'm establishing that bond, that connection that will open the pathway for me to enter the Akash and figure out what needs to be healed. But I hover over the intimate areas, and then I touch the knees, which are major chakra points, and then the feet to ground. And people feel all sorts of different sensations. And one of my the most craziest experience I've had was seeing the same thing with clients. And I've had 3 clients where we have seen the same vision within a session. And it's just mind blowing every time.
Like
What?
at the same time you are seeing the same vision?
I assume because we chat a little bit before sessions, and then afterwards, we just talk. What did you feel? Did you see anything? And I've had several times where we are seeing the same thing, and it just hyped both of us up. We were super excited.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, because it's a
without offending,
confirmation.
but without offending, is that per se a vision if you're all seeing it at the same time? I mean, that's kind of real, isn't it? I
Yeah.
mean, unless I'm off base here.
I mean, because basically the times that I had seen the same thing is when a traumatic event had taken place.
Mhm.
But it was taking place in a different life. So we were seeing the same event unfold.
Oh, wow.
Which was insane.
So can you describe a little bit about what the Akashic records are and how would you mentally access them?
So I believe, first of all, anybody can access the Akashic records. I think you really need to know what you're doing, though. But basically, it is just where everything is stored. Any life that you've ever had, anything you've ever done in any life, everything's stored there. A lot of people, I've noticed, when they are talking about, like, other practitioners that go into the Akashic records, they see it as a library. I don't ever see it as a library. I'm always just automatically shown like a timeline, and then where I need to go on that timeline. But basically that's what it is. It's just where everything is stored that has ever happened.
Can I jump in? I know we're kind of all over the place, but this is where my mind is right now. Switching gears to Monica. Your article, great article again, by the way.
Thank you.
One of the things that I'm a firm believer in is that there's no coincidences. Things happen for a reason. And one of the talking points in the article is there are no accidents. Tell us about that and your mindset when it comes to that.
I mean, I think the big mantra that I stand by in my life is that all is in divine order. Like, truly everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, like, it's all meant to happen exactly the way it's supposed to. And that's hard, that's hard. That's really hard to digest with our brains and our human consciousness, because it's like, there is some terrible shit that happens on this planet. I mean, there is some stuff that just is so horrifying that you cannot imagine how in the hell is this in divine order. But I have to always, right.
I mean, don't. Yeah. I do think there's an order to the universe, and some may classify it as like we're part of a simulation or whatever, but there is still a rhyme and reason why things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's whether if you're into church and religion, then it's God's will, and if you're not, which I'm not, then it's just the path that the stars are aligning for you, and that's, you know, the path that you're going on.
You know, it's always in retrospect that you get, you know, hindsight's always 2020. So it's always like years after some major traumatic event that I've had in my life where I was like, there's just no way in hell that this was in divine order. And then it was like, yeah, you can see the gift of it years later. But I get it. I mean, I get it. It's half the shit that's happening right now on the planet. I even asked myself, you know, like I'm scrolling my Instagram and I'm seeing kids being blown up and then a golden retriever in a tuxedo. And it's like, what the hell is this?
They desensitize us.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot that I also can't, I don't know. And that's the thing too. It's like, I am trying to be a leader in the spiritual community. I'm trying to have the answers. I'm trying to have the all the answers and the understanding to help people. But the truth of the matter is that what we're experiencing right now on the planet has never happened before. So many of us are trying to figure it out as we go. So it's like people ask me all the time, for example, and I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but like even about what is 5D, and it's like, I can tell you what it means to me. And I look to other mentors that have a really clear understanding about what it is. But the truth is that this shit has not ever happened before, where we're jumping from one dimension to another. And the whole universe is watching Earth to see how we're going to respond to this and how the Earth is going to take everybody, you know, with it to this new, better, higher frequency of consciousness. So it's like we're really all still trying to figure it out as we go too.
Do you think that we have guides watching over us during all of these atrocities? Do you think that we have a guardian angel that can really save you? I know you said you had that experience as a child, but do you feel that everyone can learn how to contact and create a relationship with these beings to help us?
Without question. Without question. And I think what it boils down to is you have to get very specific with the kinds of signs you want to see or the kind of directionals that you want. That's at least how it works for me. Like I'm like, oh, show me the best path forward. And it's like, okay, oh, well, what are you looking for? And it's like, I have to be very specific with my requests for my guides or to the universe or to the angels or to whatever, to my dead grandmas that always guide me, you know, like I have to be very specific. And that's really what works best for me.
Tiffany, I know normally we kind of hold off on questions, you know, as we kind of are further into the show, but there's some good questions out there and it's kind of in the moment. So
yeah, do them.
Let's do one. Marco asks, how do we contact our spirit guides and tap into our past records?
Angelia, do you want to answer that one?
Angelia.
Yeah. Really, you know, connecting with your spirit guides, they're there already. It's just establishing that connection with them. We have so many beings on the other side who are rooting for us, who are there for us. It's getting the signs. You can even do a tarot reading to see who your spirit guide is, you know, who's with you right now. And as far as getting into the Akashic records, there's a good meditation that you can do that can get you there. It's connecting to Archangel Zadkiel and Archangel Metatron, but that's a whole process there that I could explain further, but it's pretty long. But that's how I first connected to it. But there are a lot of good meditations that I would suggest in starting that process, and you have to trust that what you're seeing is real. It's not just an imaginary thing. A lot of people will tell me, well, I don't know if it's my imagination playing tricks on me. And when you start to question that, that's when the doubt comes in, and that's not when you're going to see what you're meant to see. So you have to trust in the process. You have to trust in what you're doing and really set that intention. Like, I want to see this past trauma that happened, you know, like I did kind of like a past life thing with my daughter because she's so connected to me. And I'm like, why are you so obsessed with me? You know? And I ended up seeing that, you know, I did this meditation, and that's all you can do. You can access it in meditation. And I saw I was being burned in Italy. I had no idea that they were burning witches in Italy, but they did. And her father at the time turned her face to watch me burn on the stake. And I saw like the shoes I was wearing, and I went back and I Googled everything, and everything matched up. So you can't question yourself. And if you ever have questions, go to Google, see if things match up for that timeline, if you do end up accessing your Akashic records or a past life.
Yeah, the response I get from some people, and actually it's my response too with some things. Tiffany will share her stories or experiences, and we're all wired differently. For whatever reason, I don't have that. I don't have that connection, and it could be maybe I just need to calm the F down and meditate. You know, try to connect.
Well, don't you think that it's a process to learn how to meditate and learn how to get to that point where do you have any suggestions on the best technique? I know that every person is different, but do you have a typical technique that you would share with someone to help them connect with spirit and get into that mood? There's got to be some guidelines. Let's hear a few guidelines.
When people are coming to me asking me how to meditate, I like to initially give them one where you can do hand mudras, because when you're doing these hand mudras, your mind isn't talking. It's focusing on these mudras here. And so there's a good meditation that I like to recommend. It's called Sa Ta Na Ma. And that's all you do. And then during that meditation, you can find it on YouTube. And so during that, it'll go silent for like 2 minutes. And you can notice, like, every time you do that, every time you practice, you get a little better with your meditation. And that's really how I started to meditate, is using that, because it really helps with those hand mudras, I feel like.
So is that just a distraction to like keep you in a place where you can let your mind go?
I think so. Yes. There's something about using your hands. It's like your brain is so focused on doing these hand movements that it doesn't have time to be like, oh, what am I going to eat for dinner? These silly things that pop into your head. And if things do pop into your head, there's no reason to beat yourself up over it. You just push it aside and then get back into the meditation.
It's like, draw me back in, bring it back to the point on task. Just act like you've got ADHD all day when you're meditating. Bring it back in. Bring it back in.
Bring it home. Bring it home.
Bring it home. Back
add to that, Monica. Your
Yeah, I get my best downloads, so to speak. My information in the shower, driving with my favorite music on.
Yep.
And I think part of it too, I mean, I'm big on meditation, but meditation to me has like saved my life. Truly. It's helped me in every way, shape, and form. And it's really, really, really as simple as slowing down. Slow down, be present. There are so many distractions, there are so many. And I just like force myself every day to just even 15 minutes to just sit and just like really, really find like the seat of my soul. You know what I mean? Like I think that's a book, but it's like just connecting and feeling into my feet and feeling into my body. Because I tend to like float up above and like live in the ether, but just that groundedness helps you kind of move throughout your day. But, meditation is everything, but I'm very busy. I don't have a lot of time. I've got a lot of responsibility. I have a young child. And it's like, I just find 15, 20 minutes, 20 minutes even, just go and sit in silence. I go on YouTube and type in, meditative music or sound bowls, and I'll throw it up on my television. And it's like, there's a bunch of videos, and just sound healing helps so much to get me out of my head and back into my body for 20 minutes. And I'll try to, it's so simple, truly. It's so simple. It's like, we know how you walk, like you said, you walk into the shop, you smell the Palo Santo, and you're just like, there's a feeling you have after you have a massage. There's a feeling you get after you've been walking on the beach, hiking and walking in the creek. There's a feeling you have after you have a Reiki session or walking into the Bodhi tree. So it's like you're hearing the sound, you're smelling the Palo Santo. All of those things act as tools to just get you back into your body. And I think that that's really the point. And so I think of it that way. Instead of like, I'm going to go meditate, I'm like, I'm going to go connect with my body and see, what am I feeling? How am I feeling about things? How does my body feel about the conversation I just had about this new opportunity today? And like, I really check in with myself. That's my meditation.
Let me help you out, Monica. Walking into the Bodhi tree, KY.com. Say it.
Thank you.
It's cheeky plug.
At Norton Commons in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, there you go. Louisville.
It's actually Prospect. Excuse me.
Oh, true. Oh my gosh. It's Norton Commons, which is its own little.
Its own
little village.
It is. I know people think it's super weird there, but that's okay.
I love it. I think that we needed something like that. Something.
I can give you
a lot of the places that I've gone before have been like down in the Highlands, and I hate going. If it's 10 minutes further than where I go and take my kids to school, then I don't want to go there. So I'm glad it is where it is. So
I said, let me tell you this. I was deep in meditation about 6 months before I even got the lease to the shop. And I always thought, I'm going to, one day when I'm retired and I have long gray hair and my son's off to college, I am going to open a little magic shop with crystals, and I'm going to be doing my readings. And that's going to be that chapter of my life, that phase of my life. And I was deep in meditation, and I literally heard, the time is now. And I was like, wow, I heard that. So my response to the universe, who just dropped that message into my head, it was, cool, make it easy. Part the seas for me. Show me exactly how to do this, and I will do it. I will absolutely do it. And I kid you not, it was so synchronistic. Every single person that led me to the next. And it was like, oh, we don't have, I went straight to like the leasing office there. And it was like, oh, we don't have any availability, but I can add you to the list. And it's probably going to be like 2 years out. Cool. And then my random friend invites me over and says like, oh, you want to talk to one of the builders? I know that they have spots available. And then I called the builder, and he's like, I love the Bodhi tree in West Hollywood. I'd love this idea. So, it was like one thing after another, all because of a meditation.
I love it.
So, and I said, just put me where I'm needed. Because everyone's like, why are you in Norton Commons? And I'm like, I just said, plant me where I'm needed.
But you trusted that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yay.
And I'm thankful for that. So, I know that there's going to be a lot more people who are interested, and maybe, as the summer goes on, you're going to have a lot of walk-ins. You're going to have a lot of traffic that is just there to enjoy the restaurants, and they, just sort of walk around in the park areas. So I think that it's going to be a truly unique adventure for you guys. And I am tickled to death about it.
I can't wait to go to that 4-star Yelp review place that Tiffany is going to.
I will. Yes.
Here's one more, Tiffany. Read that one.
So, Lady V Elements, do you have any experiences where clients' karma was tied into their trauma?
I had an experience like that.
Care to share?
So I had this coworker, and she was fine with men. She had her long-term boyfriend that she had been with for like 9 years. But I noticed, we worked at the dental office together, so we were interacting with clients, and this man came in and he was really angry, and she took it. She immediately saw red. She flipped out, and I said, "What's going on?" Like calm down. And she said, "He has no right to act like that. He's a male. I'm a woman. He doesn't need to treat me like that." And I'm like, "Well, let's just calm down." And so I asked her. I said, "Has something happened in your life? Was this an issue with your dad or some other male in your life?" And she said, "No, my dad is perfect, and all the males in my life have treated me fantastic." And this was actually one of the clients where we saw the same thing. And I ended up asking her, did she want to have a Reiki session? And we did that, and come to find out, we both saw her in the 20s, and she was just curled up in a ball in the corner of a room. There was this, just sobbing uncontrollably. There was this shadow, and you could tell it was a dark man, a male figure. And she just seemed, you could feel like how scared she was and just how she was feeling at that time. And once we got out of session and we both saw the same thing, and I said, well, that's where that trauma began. I said, that's why you react so strongly when a male is expressing their feeling, because all he was doing was just expressing himself. He was angry, but he didn't say anything out of line to her, so there's no need for her to react that way. But once we went back and found out why that happened, it's like it all made sense.
Is that something that you can help a person get over once you find what the trauma was?
Oh, yeah, for sure. So there are, in Reiki, there is a distance symbol, and it's basically called the pure consciousness symbol, and there is no time or space. So what this symbol does is it goes back to that time if you send it there, and you can send other healing symbols that will assist with healing that timeline.
So do you typically say, hey, we're going to do this today, and here's your homework for the next 2 months, try to do this and try to do that? And do you typically have people come back to you for more sessions to explain and get sort of an idea of what they've come up with on their own?
Yeah, definitely. I can't heal somebody just in one session. So I like to give homework, or light work, as I call it.
Mm-hmm.
And, because our auric field is so large, like trauma has to work its way out. That's why people don't understand, like, why is my trauma recycling? It's like, it has to work its way out. So I give them.
That's a good point.
Work.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
Like journaling. I'm a big fan of journaling. And just journal whenever you're feeling any type of way. And I loved when Monica pointed out meditating to see like where you're feeling in your body, because like that's another thing. Like, where are you feeling what you're feeling in your body? Where are you feeling the anger? Where are you feeling the sadness? And like focusing on that, because all that's going to do is cause issues in the physical if you don't get rid of it in the auric field.
I have heard that people tend to have a lot of imbalances in their bodies. Let's say that, and then also have a lot of autoimmune issues, and things like that can be adjusted through meditation and Reiki. Is that what you feel?
Oh, for sure. I'm 100% believe that. I've seen like amazing things happen with Reiki, and when somebody is committed with working on themselves.
Mm. Monica, same question to you from Lady V. The experiences, clients, karma tied in their trauma.
You know, so my work is more into numerology. I don't really work with healing traumas, but I certainly have seen it. I mean, let's be real. Like, I know that I've got some trauma from just karma and past life. I mean, that's without question. I really do believe that. That's just not what I work on with clients.
Okay.
So I have a lot less of that experience.
I will tell you one thing. So when I went into your store with my girlfriend, I bought some things. I made some purchases, and it ended up to be $111.11.
Stop it.
And he made her purchases, and it was $111.11.
No, stop.
Swear to God. I was like, and the lady, I think it was Autumn. Is that one of the girls that works?
Yeah.
She's like, that's an angel number. We don't ever see those. And I was like, huh, then how do we get 2 in a row? She goes, must be your lucky day. I mean, you could probably go back and look at it.
She told me about that.
Yeah, that was us.
She told me, she messaged me, and she said they both got their totals were that.
111, yeah.
Well, nice segue. Let's stay with the numbers. What the hell does that mean?
We're going into numerology.
What's that mean, Monica?
Yeah, I mean, so the repetitive numbers are about like signals and signs from your angels. So you've got 111 and 222 and 333. Now in numerology, what we want to do is add up your birthday to get a single digit. Unless the single digit equals a master number. The master number is 11, 22, 33, 44. Ooh. So numerology is basically it's the study of the unique frequency or vibration of your name, your unique name and birthday. And with that, you get your life path, your name expression, some karmic lessons are revealed, and also the different patterns and cycles in your life. So I can tell you like what kind of a general theme around the year you're having, or the different pinnacles in your life. Or like some people come to me and they're like, wow, I have had like 4 years of just hell. Like nothing is going my way. What is going on? And I'll look at their numbers and determine that they're in, say, a 9-year cycle that's really difficult. So now it's like, okay, you got 3 more, 5 more years or whatever. It's like
5 more years of hell. Endure.
I mean, it's real. It's real. Even one of the girls at the shop, she's in the middle of a 9-year cycle. That's very challenging. So
but knowing that,
exactly.
does that help? Or does it
Doesn't
hinder,
it?
knowing that you've got 5 more years of potential hell before you get to an elevated state?
Knowing is half the battle.
Okay. All right.
Don't you think?
Maybe. At least you didn't know what to work with.
If I was in the middle of a 5-year run of bad luck, I would.
And let's not about bad luck. It's just like challenges.
Okay.
It's not just a perpetual shitstorm. It's just like, why is everything so hard? I am wrapping up 9 years of what's called a 4, which is like really just like nothing has come easy. Nothing. It has just, everything was extra work. Like someone else could have gone and done this and they would have been fine. And me, it's like, why is it just like so many challenges? But like knowing this about myself, I'm able to pace myself. I'm able to like think big picture, long term, kind of like, okay, what do I need to get things going more smoothly? That kind of thing.
I mean, you could look at the positives. If Monica, you tell me I'm in the year 1 of a 5-year stretch where,
you're dry.
Well, I guess that the positive, okay, I'm going to live 5 years. Is that what you're telling me? I'm not going to get hit by a bus in year 2 or something to that effect.
So Kevin, you're in a number 8 year right now, an 8 personal year. And so that is interesting because...
Well, how's that?
It's been 8 years since we started our show, Kevin.
What?
So you get your month and day, add that up, and then the current year, which equals an 8. So I'll get into the hows. The calculations are a whole thing. But The 8 is interesting because the 8 is really like a focus on career and money. And money is either challenging or unexpected expenses in the 8, where you're just like hit with all these different things that you didn't expect. But it's restless energy. It's like you want to do all the things. You have your sights set on career and progress and moving things forward, and like, but there's just like a lot of focus on money, making money, spending money, expenses, big purchases, big like car issues, or you're buying or selling a house, or you're refinancing, or investments. Like it's
Expensive
all about money.
children.
Expensive children, sending them off to college, all the things. Yeah.
Mm,
So
okay.
Tiffany, you're in a 4.
What does that mean?
That's not one of the easier years.
Huh. That's
It's
funny.
like it's not bad. Again, it's not bad. It's just about really laying the foundation, and really getting things done, really getting organized, and really planning, really putting like nose to the grindstone, really having to make things like push to make things happen.
That's
But
true.
it can have some setbacks. It's a little lower energy year compared to the others. It feels a little bit like, come on, I want to go. And you're like kind of like held back a little bit. But you're not going to wake up on January 1st, 2025 and be like, hello, I am now in a number 5 year. It's energy. So it starts to change in the fall for everyone, regardless of their birthday. So you're going to start to feel like in September, October, you're going to start to feel a lot better. You're moving into a 5, which is all about expansion and growth and change and travel and like just personal expansion. And like, you're just going to like have a lot more energy.
That sounds great. I'm ready for that. So, what do you, when it comes to numerology, what is the most important part of really, I don't want to say reading, but describing how your life should go? Do you have a way to give advice to people after they get their numbers read?
Oh my gosh, there's so much information. So I do this like worksheet. Everybody gets a worksheet that has like their path of life number, their karmic lessons. So those are the numbers that are missing in your name, and their themes around lessons that you have to learn. But I think the most helpful is your personal year energy, like what I just said. Like you're in a 4 and Kevin's in an 8. So it's like knowing that the theme of your year is so helpful, especially like 1 year ahead, like knowing if you're going into like a difficult year. Or I say this, like every year has pros and cons, but in numerology, everybody knows that there are at least 1 or 2 years in the 9-year cycle that are very difficult. Like everybody in my family, all my friends, they all know, they've known I've been doing this for 25 years. And it's like, they all know their numbers, and they know like when they're going to have like a 7. The 7 is brutal. The 7 is like, you're really asked to look inward, and people struggle with that in general, to really, stop and slow down and look at themselves and what they're doing.
How do you maintain a sense of spiritual connection in times of doubt or struggle? This can go for either one.
Every day. I mean, look, people look to me like I have the answers because I own a metaphysical shop, right? And I get it. But I don't have all the answers. Like every day, I'm just like, life can be very challenging. And what I just keep going back to is getting, we talk about healing. And it's not even so much about healing your feelings, but it's about getting better at feeling. So that's a big one. It's really about getting better at feeling all those feelings. And like Angelia is so good about this too, like in terms of Reiki, like those feelings come up. So we're walking around, going about our lives, interacting with people through the lens of our wounds. So if we can heal those wounds and kind of see things through a healed, better version of ourselves, that's just going to help everyone. And I am perpetually trying to heal through all my own family drama, ancestral stuff, like work drama, postpartum drama, like all the things, I've got a mother wound, birthday wound, name it. So it's like, I what I love about the shop that's giving me an opportunity is I'm surrounded by healers. So yes, I'm constantly having these incredible, enlightening conversations and learning so much, but their learning doesn't stop. Not even after you own the metaphysical shop, it just continues and continues, and you just get more and more clarity, and you just get better at identifying all these things and healing the wounds.
That's a good answer. I like that a lot.
What say you, Angelia?
Can you repeat the question?
That's okay. How do you maintain a sense of spiritual connection in times of doubt or struggle?
I mean, I'm going back to trust again, and just trusting that the divine has everything worked out for you. That's been a major theme for this year. And the things that I'm doing this year, I've really had to trust in spirit, and I've seen what happens when you're able to trust. And so when things are going to shit, I'm like, I know it's going to get better, So it's really just, for me, it's just having that trust and knowing that you're guided divinely.
So I have this, and I got it from the Bodhi tree.
What is that?
It's an ankh, and it has different beetles and some other trees or branches. Is this? I can't remember who that is. Who's that?
That is Isis.
The goddess Isis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But what does that symbol mean to you, and how does it relate to what you do?
So the ankh is such a beautiful symbol. So if you look at it, the part where, the circular part, a lot of people kind of describe that part as the serpent eating its tail.
And the Ouroboros?
Yes, just represents, life and death, and that cycle of life, death, rebirth. And I think it's a beautiful thing. People are so afraid whenever you're getting like a tarot reading and somebody's going through, like, somebody gets the death card, and it's like, it just signifies change, And so when I look at the ankh, it's just pure energy there. And I love to connect with it for just pure life force energy of all that is.
Does it connect in any way to the divine feminine?
The ankh, it does. I personally believe it connects with a lot of things, but yes, that one in particular, especially with that symbol of Isis down there at the bottom. Yeah.
I plead ignorance. The divine feminine. What is that? Help a brother out. What is that?
Divine feminine. To me, this represents, I like to use the word gods loosely, but just a pure embodiment of what feminine is in its purest form.
The creator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one who, the portals.
The one with the portals.
The portals.
Yes.
So I guess, okay, sorry.
She said it. I didn't.
I know. Kevin's going to be talking about portals from now on.
No, I'm not going to talk about it, but thinking of that.
You're going to be thinking of them.
Thank you,
I
ladies.
did. There was a question back here that I wanted to bring up, and it was from you. So let me see if I can find it.
There it is. I think I got
Where is it. You got it?
Is this one it?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
So, Angelia or Monica, do you experience trance visions? If so, comment on seeing words appear on parchment, illuminated by candlelight, but from the other side, right to left.
Why do I always think
maybe they're Asian? Maybe
I need to play background music when we read one of Ufi's questions.
Yeah. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
We do, but we're not going to today.
Oh, not. I don't have it queued up.
Monica, would you like to start on that?
I definitely get visions, but not appearing on parchment or illuminated by candlelight. I do get really clear vision though.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
But
not sure
not
how to
so
answer
much.
that.
Okay. Would you like to try, Angelia?
I mean, I am in like a trance-like state when I'm doing Reiki, but I mean, to me, everything is in my third eye, so I don't really, I would think that that is more of like a sign, maybe, and maybe, you should ask for clarification on that, maybe with some cards or even a pendulum and other divination tools is what I would recommend.
We've had some people in the past talk about, a lot of them are like ghost hunters and things like that. But we've had a few spiritualists, we'll call them, who have discussed the fact that maybe reaching out to the other side is not the best thing to do, or using divination tools may also cause problems. Have you ever had any problems using any kind of divination tool, whether it's tarot, pendulum, Ouija board, anything like that?
The only issue I have ever had, I don't know if you all have seen that meme that's going around about the Ouija board, but it's about like the hangover, and then the Ouija board is, what is that guy? The one who's like, "Who let the dogs out? Who?"
What? I don't know.
Okay.
Well, you're the readers. You tell us who did let the dog out. Dogs.
Can't answer that question.
Okay.
But my only experience was being younger. I had a Ouija board and I didn't know what I was doing. I was asking, does this boy, in fifth grade have a crush on me? But I don't know. I don't want to say that, I mean, it possibly could have opened something. I don't want to say that though, because that's saying that like that divination tool has a negative connotation to it. And that's not what I want to say. So,
But doesn't it though? Doesn't it though? I don't fuck around with Ouija boards.
yeah, ever since that happened. So what happened was I had messed with it multiple times and I just kept it in my closet. And I had friends that were sleeping over, and it was 10 o'clock at night. They come screaming, running out of the room. And I was in the kitchen and I was like, guys, it's not time to play around. Like, my parents are sleeping, hush.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, no, Angelia, your prayer book just flung off of your nightstand. And they said it was like thrown. And so we went back in, and when I went back in my room, something else had been thrown. I had this little lion statue and it had been thrown on the floor.
And that was after they came out? Do you think?
Yes. That was after we all saw that lion that was thrown on the floor. And ever since then, I was like, I didn't burn it. And I was really nervous, because I was a young child and I'm trying to get rid of a Ouija board. So it was trash day one day. And I was like, I'm taking this sucker out to the garbage. Like, it's going to the landfill and we're never going to mess with it again.
Yeah. What happened to that board? Did it not come back? Did it come back?
It did not come back. No.
Okay.
I was worried.
You're the one that was burned like a few centuries ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Multiple times.
Yes.
It was the Baja men who asked who let the dogs.
Exactly. So I did have a few experiences this week, and I'll bring them up because it does relate. But after our last guest, last Tuesday, and I know you heard a little bit about her. So after we had that conversation about the human trafficking and the fear and all of that surrounding her show, we started having experiences at home. So the next day I was moving my mother-in-law from one apartment into another. And I went in there into the closet, stacking everything, putting it all away neatly. Everything was done. When I was in her bedroom. It was in a walk-in closet. When I was in her bedroom, I heard something fall, and I was like, that's weird. What was that? So my daughter Madeline walks in, and she's like, why'd you just throw everything in the floor? And I said, what are you talking about? And everything was piled in the floor of the closet. It is just, everything had been put up and everything was piled on the floor. And I was like, okay, that's really creepy and weird. And also later that day, a pair of shoes came off of the shelves. And I was like, okay, that's weird. Put them back. I will say this was at a assisted living, and there may have been quite a few people who had passed on in that location, but no one that we knew. So the next day, we had a pair of shoes fly across the floor in the closet, our closet at home. And what else did I say, Kevin? There was something else that happened. Do you remember what it was?
I don't.
But whatever it was, there was some kind of major energy, and maybe it was brought up through the entire moving process, causing a lot of angst. But that was a little creepy. And I don't think I've ever played on a Ouija board. I think the kids had it out at a birthday party when we were 10, and that was it. And I'm just like, no, I'm not doing that. Do you feel, but it does remind me of The Conjuring too. Isn't that where the girls find the Ouija board in the attic too, or something?
Before they
That
answer,
happened?
Tiffany, let me read the text you sent.
Oh, okay. Since my brain is fried.
This is interesting. We moved my mother-in-law to a new apartment. Okay, blah, blah, blah. 2 things were thrown to the closet floor that I had securely placed myself. 2 different days, but not just there. Brent destroyed his big chainsaw while clearing some of the dead trees last week. Destroyed his chainsaw. Okay.
Well, we were cutting down a tree to build a greenhouse, and this is the first time this has ever happened. But the tree actually broke onto the chainsaw and demolished it. He'd never done anything like that before, so that was a little strange because it almost killed me. I have it on video.
He placed all of the parts in a bucket under a work desk, locked the garage, and turned the alarm with motion sensors on. In the morning, he found the pieces strewn across the garage floor.
There was a ton of pieces. It was all in a box and just scattered. And there was nothing. Like the alarm was set. There was no movement except for that, and it didn't trigger any of the alarms or anything.
Then he went inside while I was out of the house, and a potted plant that I've had for 3 years just decided to throw itself across the dining room and shatter all over the place. No one else was in the house.
Yeah.
This shit that I'm reading is why I'm not in that house.
It's not just the house though, Kevin.
It's you.
Yeah. Well, I probably stir up a lot of crap. How's that? Whether it's energy or whatever. I make a mess too.
Don't you have cameras in your house?
I do.
Is any of this stuff on camera, on video?
No, in that spot, it's only motion sensors. So I didn't get anything, unfortunately.
Wait a minute. Well, then if something was thrown, wouldn't it have caught?
Sure, but only if the alarm was set for the.
Oh, I got you.
Because it wasn't set. That was during the day. It was like in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean, it does show that there may be some more anxiety, maybe that's attracting energies. But yeah. So if I come back in for a reading next week, Monica, make sure you give me a good person.
I've never had a reading. I'm going to do it. Oh, now I found my girl to do it. So
yeah,
I'm going to go there. I want to do that.
Let's
now that I'm in year 8, let's see what's
coming next.
9.
So I'm in a 9.
You're in a 9 also?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, good. So I'm the only one in the midst of it. Shit. So would you be willing to do a mini tarot reading, even if it's only one card?
Sure.
Angelia? Yes? Okay. Kevin, would you like to be her first victim?
Sure, why not?
Oh, buddy, we're gonna learn some stuff about Kevin tonight.
Can
So
you text me first in case I want? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, go ahead. Let's do it. Live.
Okay, I'm gonna be quiet.
do you have a question about anything that you're wanting answered, or
Well,
just wanted to-
actually, Monica's has piqued my curiosity. The whole year thing, 8. What's if I'm in year 8? What is in store for me between now and year 9? Because it sounded like there was some stress that I'm going to be dealing with this year. And can you like walk me off the ledge? Hopefully.
So it's kind of funny that I pulled this card, but it's the Hermit.
Oh,
And I wouldn't expect that, Monica, for like a 9. I mean, but with you being in this year, I don't know if there may be some issues that come up in just being, because you're in an 8, and so that's like with the money situation and doing all the things, it's like it may cause you to want to go into this hermit mode and just kind of reflect on everything that's going on and just be alone with yourself, with your energy, so that you can just reflect and think about things and focus on you.
That does sound like something I would do. Yeah.
So yeah, you're going to go into hermit mode pretty soon.
Well, and the 9 is about, it actually lines up, because the 9 is about reevaluating everything in your life, and really, like, it's about people, places, and things and ideas that no longer serve you, that you're releasing. And so there's a lot. I mean, I have been very much a hermit this year. I mean, as much as I can be with all the stuff I've got going on, but I really, really seek that solitude so that I can process everything that there's just so much. I'm processing everything I'm questioning everything in my life in this 9. I'm like, are you going to stay around for the next 9-year cycle? Everything's getting like the boot.
so when it comes to the Hermit, does that really mean that you go into this cocoon mode, or is it just more reflection?
I think reflection.
I mean, I feel like it's reflection, but I think there is a little bit of this energy where you are just kind of wanting to be in your own energy. I mean, not saying that you wouldn't want to go out and do things, but there is more of like a little reclusiveness, I feel.
So we'll see you in a year, Kevin.
Yeah.
Don't call me. I'll call you.
Yeah, every time I call you, you won't show up. I keep asking him to go places.
Oh, the other night I was like, "What are
worry.
you doing?" I'm already in bed. Can you say that? Okay. Right,
I did. What is the about?
I want to know more. What's the 5D thing, Monica?
Yes. What can I answer? I mean, I can tell you what it means for me and what I'm doing in my life to integrate, to be in the 5D, which is just, I'm really trying to simplify my life. I'm really trying to become, dependent on myself and my family and not in the government. And I'm trying to grow a garden, and I'm trying to just get back to basics. Like, I feel like everything is just really complicated right now. We have just access to so many people and so much information, and there's so much noise. And I'm trying to really like unwind all of that and get back to basics, which like I love technology and I love all the things, but I just want a simpler life. And it's about just having the consciousness of being community minded and and taking care of one another. And again, back to what I talked about, getting better at feeling and slowing down and really listening and being authentic and healing. To me, that's what 5D is about, and really meeting everybody where they're at without this, the judgment, because everybody has all their shit that they're dealing with. So it's having a little bit more compassion for people and meeting them where they're at, and, knowing that we're all processing so much.
I got a message. I saw a message, and it said, be careful with your words because you don't know what the other person has been through and what they're going through. And I think that it's a very humbling place to be, to listen to people's experiences and appreciate that their life is up and down just as much as yours is, and take that step back before you lash out or bitch them out or whatever. And I have over the past few years had a lot of problems with that, and it's almost to the point where I'm so sick of the bullshit that I have to retract some and go back and try to connect with myself on a different level and bring it back to the basics of what it is and what it means to be a human being in this world. And I think a lot of our problems relate to how much we can communicate with others in this world of the internet, but
Put
not
the
really
goddamn phone
communicate,
down.
but
Put it
not really
down.
communicate
Yeah.
with the people that matter on a good, in a good, healthy way. So I think that a lot of the trauma that we're experiencing now is sort of self-induced because of the amount of bullshit that we are exposed to on a daily basis. Like on the news, everything's shit. On the radio, it's got a lot of crap. The things that you are reading is garbage. I think that we're put in this place. Some of us actually don't ignore the gifts that we're given and try to help others along on their path.
Yeah. And you know what? I can tell you, and Angelia sees it every day. Like every day people come into the shop and they look put together. They look totally functional. And then you start pulling back the layers and everybody is dealing with all their own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there was something about this year too, like 2024, I don't, even before the eclipse, but boy, 2024 was just like, everyone's getting pummeled with like clarity about people in their life and revelations and just really having to face a lot of things. Haven't you guys felt that?
Yeah.
I'm not asking for a spoiler alert here, but are we, is your vision when it comes to this world doom and gloom? Because that's kind of how I'm feeling. I mean, we're as fucking divided as ever here in the States or in the world, whether it's politics, mainly politics. I mean, you got to pick a side, and it's just so as a guy who has done podcasts for many years, I despise social media. I cannot stand. I don't interact with people anymore. I used to, just if I see somebody post something, I'm ready to go at it, but I don't have the energy for it anymore. Because it's just it's so negative right now. I don't know. I mean, are we getting ready to have a reset button?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I am not actually worried about the future, so to speak, as much as I am in this, what I'm feeling. It feels like a bridge to that next thing.
That's a good point. Yeah.
That's how it feels right now. Like, I feel like it's going to get worse, to be honest.
Okay.
I mean, you know, it's going to be a shit show leading up to the election. I mean, you know it.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like 2024 is a bit of a bridge. And I feel like, honestly, I'm not worried about the future in general. Like, I think about my child, I think about his future, and I'm excited. I'm excited about it.
You know, when I ask that, it's not selfish reasons. It's because of my kids. It's because of my grandkids.
Right.
I can't imagine any type of trauma, negative, or just the any pain and suffering for them in the future. It breaks my heart.
Absolutely.
And knowing that, you know, I'm likely not going to be here
to protect,
comfort them. And I don't have the warm fuzzies, you know, in the next 10, 20 years with this planet.
I just keep feeling like we need to get through like the next 2. Like, hold on. But like, I just, in general, it's very strange. I mean, like, there's no logic to it. Like, I see this like difficulty, like this mountain, but like beyond that mountain, I just want to get there. I just want to get to the other side of this.
Well,
I mean, I know, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know if the other side of that is because we all die. No, I don't think so. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm over here, like, what's on the other side of this madness? But no, I am very, I mean, my Instagram handle is Monica in 5D. Like, I am trying to bring that energy in. I am trying to embody the 5th dimension. I am trying to be an example of what that is. And I am excited for the future. It's just, I'm just trying to like get over like just this little bit of it.
Well, and that's what we have to do. We have to worry about what's going on now, what needs our attention now. Do you feel that when you go to bed, there is we'll use the bridge again, that it's a bridge to our another dimension, or a bridge to the universal consciousness?
Oh, I love this. We're going for it. When I go to bed at night, I say I'm a big into prayer, and I always ask to be put on my highest timeline and the best version of whatever this wild spinning ball is. So, and I do feel like I don't know if this is answering your question, but I do feel like when I wake up, I do feel like sometimes I wake up in a little bit of an altered dimension. Like, did we shift this timeline? This one feels better? It's so how I'm understanding is this transition from 3D to 5D is that we have glimpses of 5D, and then we're back and forth right now. And well, what happened to 4D? Well, 4D is like about time, and time's kind of funky right now too, if you've noticed. Like, time can be a little weird. Like, I've had these conversations with people at the shop. Like, some days it feels like the whole morning would have been 8 hours, and it's like an hour and a half that went by. So like, people are experiencing weird things with time. But the idea is that we're in this 3-dimensional world, the way the 3D operates. And then we have these glimpses of what it can be and how it can be better. And then we go back to the 3D with this dream, this idea of the integration of the 5D. And then it's that bringing that enough times to the 3D timeline that we then jump. Does that make sense?
Yes.
A little bit, Angelia. Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying.
I mean, I'm not the expert in quantum physics here, but it's like integrating the best case scenario to make it a reality in our 3-dimensional reality. So, and it keeps on doing this. I've read this and I've heard this from multiple, like Dolores Cannon speaks about this, and some old Edgar Cayce books speak about this too. And it's like, we're just really trying. That's back to I didn't even realize what I'm saying, but it's like the bridge again. It's this bridge to what the 5D is. Now it's like, I don't know. I just don't know what, like I said, most people don't know what is exactly going to happen. Are we going to have this major solar flash? Are we going to have like, what is it? What's going to happen that's going to get us to the other side? But it's fascinating nevertheless.
Let me ask real quick. You know, this year we had the solar eclipse. We had the Northern Lights show. I mean, it was a nice show for people who could see it. And if you actually couldn't, you could, I mean, technology, use your phone, and then the images actually show up on the phone. But where I'm getting at is that the Northern Lights was caused by issues from the sun, the explosion or whatever.
Yeah, the solar flares.
Flares. Is there some story going on here? I mean, you mentioned 2024 as being kind of a shit show. Is there something more that you're feeling, seeing?
And so what I'm hearing from the people that I follow, right? The people that I look up to, is that the sun is in the solar maximum and it's doing its thing. It's spitting off all these major flares, and that within the flares, there are upgrades, there are codes for us to integrate, which this is down the rabbit hole. This goes down into like, you start to get into like the conspiratorial stuff, but like, in
Are you
terms
setting
of like,
up part 2? Y'all coming back for another show, which is fine. We could do that.
well, it's like, also, sorry, what is this? Is that for me or no?
No, that's
The message.
for
Sorry.
Kevin. That's
Okay.
for Kevin. That's for Kevin.
So, I've heard all kinds of crazy things. I mean, I've heard that we're going to have like a solar flash that's going to take out all the grid,
All your electronics can be fried.
Right.
Go
And then
get your
what
old
happens?
pickup from 67.
I wish. And then what happens? And then is that when our advanced friends, our galactic friends come down?
You answer
don't know.
that, Tiffany. They're your buddies.
I don't really have an answer. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. And I think that's part of why I carry so much weight, because the fear of the unknown is really strong. And maybe because, like you said earlier, I've got children, I've got to worry about what's going to happen to them when this whole thing comes to fruition. Is what's their life going to be like? I think that's why I think as parents, we do have that fear. So
it changes everything.
It does, because it's not just you anymore. There's somebody else that you have to worry about. And maybe that's
Be
normal.
so selfish.
Yeah, you can't be so selfish.
You sent me this, Tiffany. What are we looking at here?
So the other night, one of my husband's friends was taking a picture of the Northern Lights. And she just took a picture because she's like, oh, look, stars. She took a picture, and this is what came up when she went back to look at her photos. This is what she saw. Can you zoom in on that, Kevin?
I'm at okay.
Max?
I'm getting
Okay. So this is interesting. Do you either of you, Monica or Angelia, do you have a feeling about this image? Because obviously she didn't see it in the sky.
Oh, she didn't?
No, she didn't.
I don't know what that is.
I mean, I'm a strong believer that you can catch things, just like you catch paranormal activity on a camera. I don't think, clearly, I think you could see aliens or like some sort of transportation device in a picture just the same. So,
I mean, the colors are very vibrant and they're very different. You've got yellow,
is this a
red,
plume?
blue,
What is this
purple.
right here?
We have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, from the thing that I saw was just, I see just something beautiful, but I don't think that it's natural.
It doesn't scare me.
No, it doesn't scare me either. Yeah. I think it's cool. Anyway, I just wanted to share and see if y'all came up with any feelings. So,
well, and the idea too is that we're moving into this higher frequency, and in that higher frequency, we should be able to start seeing a lot more of our galactic friends.
Oh, interesting. So you
they
think
vibrate
they're preparing us for? Yeah. Do you think they're preparing us? And humans, I do feel like overall we are a very low vibrational being for the most part, because we have very heated, violent natures. Do you feel that can change if you put your mind to it? Do you feel like you can become a better, higher vibrational being through meditation? What would your strategies be for people who wanted to know?
Absolutely. Oh, my answer may shock you. You
Let's
want to
hear
raise
it.
your vibration?
Mm-hmm.
Do a parasite cleanse and a heavy metal cleanse.
Love those. Do them once a
And
year.
that, at least,
What is
Yeah.
that? I don't know.
You can take ivermectin and do a heavy metal
supplements.
detox.
Yeah.
Supplements. So dandelion, some mushrooms. There's a lot of
Zeolites,
zeolites. Yeah.
chlorella, all that. Like you want to change the way that your perception on the planet and the way that you like get information and that sort of thing is get rid of all that shit.
Do you feel like you can't? I know that when we talk about aliens, a lot of time we talk about the pineal gland. Is that something that we can solidify, like decalcify?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Absolutely.
So what is the process for something like that, though? The same heavy metal detox?
Yeah.
Yes,
I hope we don't use the fluoride.
No.
Yeah.
Haven't used that in a long time.
Yeah, detox. Seriously, the way to enlightenment that I have experienced is detox, all of it.
And Julia,
that's a
what
game
do you
changer.
I personally think that we can totally vibrate higher. I think everything is intention. And so when you put an intention in everything, definitely cleansing your body and strengthening your pineal gland and setting an intent like, today I'm not going to worry, and today I'm going to be grateful for all things, and really truly setting that intention and believing that you can vibrate higher. And it's very important now. I don't know if you all have seen or heard the Shambhala Warrior Prophecy by Joanna Macy, but it's called the Great Shakening that's happening, and we're all waking up, and so we're all going through these dense feelings. So I think it's really important for us to do all those things and truly purify ourselves on the daily.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that
happen?
Do you think that there's a plan within sort of the New World Order, if there's a plan to sort of crush our spirits, make us less universally accepted, not let us live our truth and our spiritual nature, and let that help guide us? Do you think that is being given or planted in all of us with pharmaceuticals and, like you said, fluoride to help calcify your pineal gland and kill you? Because it's deadly. You can't even use it without putting plastic gloves.
Yeah.
But I really, really think that I guess it's like, you shouldn't go around thinking that the world is just run by a group of elite Illuminati or whatever, right? Trying to kill us all. Like, that may very well be true, but we can't give them that much power. We have to rise above it. We have to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very simple statement, but it's the truth. It's like, we have to, like, fuck them.
Mm-hmm.
We have our families,
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the soundbite of the night. We just got flagged by the Illuminati. She just called out the Illuminati with the F word. They're coming at us.
Great.
Get them.
Get.
Kevin.
She said it, not me.
Can we? Oh yeah, this is live, so we can't edit that out.
No, we're fine.
Yeah. I can edit out the audio.
I'm sure they're great. I bet
they are.
Sure they're a lot of fun at the parties. Jesus.
There's a lot of people at their party, a lot of fun people. Is that what you said?
Yeah. I'm sure their parties are great.
I hear there's a lot of fun stuff that happens.
Those might be my kind of that might be those might be my kind of parties. But
I know.
All right, let's rounding third and heading for home. Tiff, with the ladies. This has been a killer show, and I'm going to, Monica. I am going to come out because one, I want to walk in and just see what I feel.
Me
Because
too.
I think something is there waiting for me, and I want to feel it. So
Yeah.
What we do every now and then is kind of like end the show with a fun little segment where we throw some rapid fire questions at our guests, meant for fun. So just play along. Monica, first concert you went to?
Oh God, it was a long time ago. It was like the Stylistics, long time ago.
I mean, what are we talking?
Oh, and B-52s too.
Oh, that would have been good too.
Mm-hmm.
Angelia, same first concert.
I believe it was a Sugar Ray concert.
Sugar Ray.
Nice.
You
What
just
was
want
that?
to fly.
Was that like 1999?
Wrap your arms around me, baby.
That was like, I want to say he did like a 2000 concert.
Okay.
when I went.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
She's young.
Yeah,
He's a baby.
Yeah, can tell. Monica, invisibility or super strength?
You want these rapid fire, and I'm over here.
Yeah, I'm like,
I
I can't play the Jeopardy song doing this.
Okay, wait. But what is the super strength, or what's the super part? What is it? Oh, you mean like super strength?
Whichever one you want.
You're either invisible or you can flex, whatever.
Flex.
Okay, I'll do flex.
You don't want invisibility? Oh, okay, no, I don't know. I can't question your answer. Angelia, invisibility or super strength?
Flex on him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll stay with Angelia here. If you could travel back in time, what period would you go to? Probably not the
burning witch days.
Burning, yeah, but or maybe. But go ahead.
I would go like way back to probably Lemuria. So, like, how many years ago is that? Millions, billions?
Who knows? Don't know.
Definitely before when I was born. So, Monica, same. Travel back in time. Where would you go?
Oh, you know what? You're gonna laugh. I would just go back to like 1986 and go see Soundgarden.
Oh yes.
So quick side note.
Oh my God.
So listen, you guys. His mom taught me numerology.
Oh, what?
She is my mentor. I've known her since I was 17 years old. She taught me numerology.
You know, we would not have heard that if I didn't do the rapid fire.
I know it.
Oh, that's a whole episode.
Super
that's
cool.
a whole episode.
I mean, we got to line up the next date or
Yes.
show for the ladies to come back because there's more to talk about.
Absolutely.
Angelia, name a pet peeve.
Oh,
Don't say rapid fire questions. But
I don't know. When somebody chews really loud, I don't know.
That's Monica.
When your vibe is off, I don't know.
Rigidity.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like I'll get people who are just so rigid. It's like, just be flexible or bend a little bit. Like, what? They're uptight.
Take that stick out of your ass.
Yeah. It's like, it's so off-putting to me. It's just like, ugh.
Okay.
They need healing. Send them healing.
Now, this question, maybe for my guy mind, Angelia, what was the last Halloween costume?
You know what? No, I was Minnie Mouse.
What?
Yes. Sorry to let y'all down.
Oh, that's interesting.
All right, Monica, please tell me it was Catwoman in the latex.
God.
Or not.
Monica.
That's gonna be your next Halloween costume, and Kevin wants pictures.
No, I was a witch actually in this last one. Yeah, I was.
Somebody was.
Yeah.
Cake or pie, Monica?
Pie.
Angelia.
Cake.
Cake. All right. Monica, if you could ask God one question, what would it be? Ooh,
Why?
why? One word with a
Yeah.
couple of question marks.
Really?
Really? Yeah.
Right.
What about
I want to
you?
know how God came to be God.
Oh, you want
That's
to know
my
about the
deep question.
creation?
Yes.
Me too. The beginning of the creation.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say? I don't know. I didn't catch it.
Yeah, she said
and
why.
Angelia said why?
Monica said why.
No, I want Angelia.
Oh.
Oh, like how God came to be.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Angelia, do you ask for permission or beg for forgiveness?
I asked for permission.
Monica.
Neither, honestly.
You just do it and
I just
don't
do it.
give
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
I'm a projector, though.
Yeah. Oh, what
Okay,
is that?
okay.
I know. I mean, I kind of know what that means, but in this
Ooh.
context, what do you mean
Are
by that?
Do you push people to feel certain things? Was that what you're getting into?
Me?
Yeah. What you're saying?
Well, no, I feel a lot. And so like part of being a projector, I feel like when I think of it, it's like almost like energy bending, almost to where like our emotions can, like everybody else can feel them, and then we can feel a lot of emotions. But with that, like we can give advice too with being a projector, but we have to ask for permission because sometimes we give our unsolicited opinions and people don't want them, and then that makes us upset.
Oh,
Mhm.
no, yeah, you're right.
Wait a minute. Women giving unsolicited. No, I'm kidding. Sorry. It's a joke. It's a joke. Not really. I've got a lot of. I actually, it's not. I've got a lot of women in my life.
I know.
I know. And you all are here with me tonight.
Loves women.
I do. So, the last one, Monica. Where is your happy place?
Could be any
Oh,
place on
gosh.
earth
Or not?
or not.
I mean, probably just in my bed on a movie night with my husband and my son.
It's always a good spot.
So
Yeah.
Netflix and chill, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'd have to say mine is nature, just being in nature. Take me to a forest or an ocean and I'm good.
Mm.
You need to recharge there.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I
Tiffany,
agree.
quickly tell them the story. In the back of your
Property.
acreage, there's this tree. Share that with real quick. The tree.
So we have the magic tree. Yeah, we call it the magic tree.
Mhm.
So
Ooh.
my husband purchased this property. He'd been looking at it for 20 years, and finally in 2016 he was able to purchase it. And at the back of the property, there's a 500 to 600-year-old bur oak tree, and it has a little cavern inside, and you can look in from a hole and two different holes in the tree. And the first time I saw it, I thought, oh. I didn't get a great feeling from it. In fact, I thought it was, I said the hanging tree is what I was, what I came up with. So, and I hate saying that because there's so much emotion to that, but then this tree is massive and it's been there forever. And the only reason that it's still there is because it was on the old Oldham County Road that doesn't exist anymore. But you still see the tracks from the horse and buggies, the horse and carriage, and we'll find horseshoes and things like that, pieces of wheels and crazy stuff. But so the first instinct was, oh, what's going on here? Because there's something huge. There's some kind of massive energy. And we've heard little girls giggling and talking and saying, we're over here. We're over here. Is it over there? Are they over there? Where are they? Are they there? We're over here. And so we've had multiple people who've heard these voices in the middle of the woods. Nobody's there except this tree and these giggling girls. And these phantom voices.
Mm.
But you're more than welcome to come over and check it out. I don't extend that invitation
She does it.
often.
She does it.
So, but you guys,
I
are
mean, that
welcome.
sounds so creepy.
Yeah.
And I
Do
like
it-
I
Do
manage
it
a
on the
haunted
night where
hotel.
Brent's cooking too,
Yeah.
and we'll make
Yes.
it a party. So
Yes,
yeah.
we'll make it a party.
You know,
Like,
Tiffany,
that's
when I was there,
creepy.
hold on, when I was there, that
Mhm.
one of the nights I was there, when I
Mhm.
went back, for the record, I'm an enthusiast when it comes to the whole paranormal.
But he's a pussy. I'm just saying. I'm just being real with you.
Okay,
He
I'm
is-
I'm a city guy. I'm not
He's a
that
portal.
tough.
He's a portal.
People will shake my hands and tell me I've got the softest hands than they've ever. All right, but when I'm a skeptic actually more than a believer, so I tend to push back a lot on when we do these shows in a respectful way. But when I was there one night, Tiffany was there by the tree. I felt something. It was something, and it was weird enough for me to just kind of walk away from it because I couldn't answer. I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Well, wasn't that the time where Terry Lovelace was using a ghost box too?
That was the same time. Yes.
So we had an alien abductee named Terry Lovelace, who's actually he was abducted while he was in the military at Devil's Den,
Which
and
I truly believe his story because he's
yeah,
got implants,
he's got
X-rays of implants of shit in
and
his body.
they have changed throughout the years.
Yes.
He got an upgrade. Like you could see it. You could see it on the X-rays, and he's been followed for
Wait a minute,
40 years for it.
upgrade?
He got an upgrade. Like they updated his hardware.
In the
And
hospital
at that
ahead.
night, his watch said that he had climbed 6 floors between 5 and 5:06 a.m. or something crazy like that.
God.
But anyway, so yeah, he was doing a spirit box at that
But
time.
anyway.
And,
But
anyway. Another show. But yeah, so Kevin got to feel a little bit at the tree, but you know, we had a goal that night, and that was the first time Kevin had been out on the property at night with no hand holding.
I was being held. My hand was being held.
It was being held by something. I don't know what it was.
Yeah. I don't give a shit. Somebody was holding my hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a show.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel,
That was fun, you guys. Thank you.
This has been
I do think
an
there's
amazing night.
more to talk about. So we'll definitely have to do another one, especially after I get to the shop and get the feel.
Yeah, because I still have to tell you about managing that haunted hotel for 10 years.
Yes. No, that'll be in the next show.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. And we didn't get into the ET contact either.
No. But there you go. There's our angle for the next one. We'll kind of focus a little more on the ghost, paranormal, really aspect.
So tonight, ladies, is there anything that you would like to, words of wisdom that you'd like to leave us with before everybody goes off to bed so that they don't have any nightmares?
All is in divine order, you guys.
Okay.
I would just say to trust in the divine and always remember to purify yourself, especially in the times that we're in.
So when you say purification, are you talking about smoke, water, salt? What do you usually do?
Exorcism.
Exorcism.
Yes, all of the above. It can be any way, showering and just intending the water to flow over you and purify you. It can be smoke cleanse and waving that Palo Santos over you, or it can be salt. You know, whatever you are called to do to purify yourself, that's what I would say you need to do.
And I was going to say, one of the things I do every night is I call in the angels. I grid my property with angels. And I initially was like, I thought, oh, call in 4 angels, put them in the 4 corners of my property. And when I'm having a really bad week, I call Archangel Michael just to be on top of the house as a little extra buffer. But one of the girls at the shop, Rochelle, she's big on the angels. And when she does her Reiki, she calls in 100,000 angels.
I know her.
You know, so I remember when she did that to me, I remember like, you know, being on the table and she calls in and I'm like, did you just call in like the North Atlantic Fleet? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, shit, I'm going to start doing that. So now at night, I'm like 100 million angels in my neighborhood, you guys, like call them in, all of them.
That's a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
So Kevin, you're going to be calling out for angels protection the next time you come out to the magic tree at night. And then your hand will be held by 1 million angels and you'll feel so good. Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll go for it. Yeah.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Universal Secrets. We had a wonderful time with you. I feel educated. I feel a little bit happier in this world. And I hope that our guests listen to your words and think about how they can protect themselves from anxieties and stresses that we endure every day and help enlighten them and get through this next year.
We got this.
Yeah.
We got this. Those are the words of the night. Yeah, we got this. Yeah, great stuff. It's shows like this that really force me to open my mind a little more. I'm pretty open-minded, as you know, I think in general, but you know, to hear it a little deeper with tonight's guests, it's I mean, especially I'm year 8.
I know, you're all good.
Yeah, and then you know, and if Monica with her numbers, she can explain the 3 6s, what the 3 6s on my head mean. Okay.
Oh gosh.
You and your devilish ways.
Devilish ways, yeah. Are we signing off? What are we doing here, Tiffany? Because usually we let it go, but we're at about 10 o'clock. We could probably.
Oh wow, that was fast.
Yeah.
Share with again. I know the Bodhi tree, but where can people connect with you all right now?
Yeah, the BodhiTreeKY.com. We list all of our practitioners. You can contact Angelia or make an appointment with me. We'd love to see you. We all do virtual appointments as well. So no matter where you are.
Virtual.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much, ladies. It was a pleasure. And ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next week with another great guest. And y'all have a wonderful evening. Signing off.
Bye.
Good night. This has been Universal Secrets.